Hello there, YouTube! Long-awaited video here today. Going to be showing you the web equipment that the Canadians went into World War I with. This particular set of web equipment is called the Canadian Model 1899 Oliver pattern equipment. It is something they used since the Second Boer War. And used it basically until the very first month of World War I. After the first month of combat, really, in 1915, it was considered very obsolete, and the Canadian soldiers from there on out would be given, on the front lines, would be given a combination of 1907 pattern webbing and 1914 pattern leather equipment, which would have been probably much more familiar than the 1907 equipment to the Canadian soldier during basically after the first month of the war. But the 1899 would continue to see service with the Home Guard and everything like that through the war. So it did survive all of World War I in some sense of military semblance. So it did pretty much only serve exclusively with the Ross during World War I. So both the model 1905 or Mark II and the model of 1910 or Mark III. Sling is incorrect, it's an American sling. The rest of it is a Canadian rifle. So now we could get that out of the way. This rifle did start, though, its life with, until the Ross, the Canadian military used the standard Snider Enfield type rifle. That was their primary arm. So they used the .577 caliber Snider Enfield. This equipment was designed to be used for that. The original ammo pouch would be here, and you would wear it right over here, over kind of your navel region, right here in the front. It did have little tabs here on the back, as you can see there, that you could route these hooks through. So instead of hooking to the belt, you could hook them to this little straps here behind your ammo pouch, which would help support your ammo a little bit better. I'm going to be kind of standing on my tiptoes here to try to get everything in frame, so hopefully I can do that here. But just a basic leather pouch. It's got a keyhole and stud type arrangement, and it's just an open pouch. That's all it is. Just a square, open leather pouch, and you would have all your rounds in there in the British and Commonwealth, pre-Commonwealth at this time, the Dominions of England, which included Canada and everything, would have had their ammo pre-packaged in these little kind of waxed paper packages, and you would put those in there, and you would have some loose rounds for easy access as well. So as this web equipment evolved, though, the core of it would not change. The accessories on it would change. So like over here, this is the 1899 model of Bayonet frog. This part right here would be for the bayonet, and then this part right here was for an entrenching tool that was designed but never built. But the bayonet frogs came like this anyways, all with that extra side part for the entrenching tool handle that never existed. This is the 1899 water bottle and its pouch. So these were only used for a very short amount of time. They were very hated. They are glass, and so they were very breakable, and they did not hold very much water, actually. And you were only given one. So it's basically about the size of like a soda bottle, which you would imagine a glass soda bottle to be. It's not very much water for an active soldier, unfortunately. The belt itself is basically a Sam Browne belt. It's really no different. And then you see this kind of monstrosity under my arms here, this cross amount of straps, which actually gives you a very good amount of weight distribution. It has a huge yoke here in the back, and attached to that yoke is this strap, which was used to house your greatcoat. Your greatcoat would just be rolled up and thrown into that, and then you could have a raincoat over that to help keep your greatcoat from getting wet. That was about it. So, and then you would have your valise back here. Your valise was meant to carry spare ammo, socks, your shaving kit, your toiletries, anything else basically other than your greatcoat would go in there, and that's how the Canadian soldier looked from 1899 through the end of the war, at least at the home. It's a actually really comfortable set of equipment. I have a lot of movement. I could bend over. The weight distributes very evenly well, except for in the front it's a little light because I don't have have any ammo pouches on it. So by the time of World War I, you would see different pouches like this, the Canadian pattern of 1916 pouch. This would be put right here on the front for holding .303 ammo. But you can see these right through the end of the war too, because they're both basically just open pouches. They just hold whatever you put in them. So it's not going to hold any round specifically. There's no loops stitched in them or anything. It's just throw your rounds in there. The water bottle would have been replaced very early on, and during World War I you would see this water bottle become standard, albeit with little leather hanger adapters for it. So that would be it though, and you'd see the Ross bayonet, this thing right here, the bayonet frog and sheath replaced with the this thing. But other than that, you would keep the valise in the core of the core of this web equipment through World War I, and I'm really glad because this has taken me forever to piece together. I was able to get some parts of it from What Price Glory, basically the belt. Everything else I had to have fabricated for the most part, based off of usually what Price Glory had. I actually found the guy that he was able to give me, the guy who owns What Price Glory was able to get me in contact with the guy who researched and then did all the measurements and developments for the first set of this for them. And basically me and him worked together to get a set together to put on this as accurately as possible so it could be part of this video. So now I have all 3 sets of web equipment used by the Canadians in World War I, and I'm very, very glad to have them. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything to add to this, please do so. There isn't a ton of information out there on this website, actually. After World War I, and even during World War I, you see a lot of it parted out. You see a lot of Canadian officers wearing the belt overseas, because this is an already made belt. It looks very officer-ish. You see a lot of those head over to World War I with Canadian officers, and the rest of it is just who knows. So it's a thing you could see through the whole war, but it's not something you see on the front lines after the first couple of months of World War I. But it was still there nonetheless, so I think it deserved its video, and I'm very glad to have it. And hopefully one day, because I've been waiting for one to come along, I could get an actual Mark III Snyder Enfield, and have that I could show you on this channel too. And then I'll really have everything from basically the late Victorian era through World War I, because that's kind of my favorite historical era. So hopefully you all like this video, and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. It's not something I get to do every day to show you stuff like this, and I'll show you here just what a complicated mess of straps this all is. It's a very simple set of web equipment though, for the most part, as far as once it's all made. But other than that, it can be a bit of a nightmare. So hopefully you all like this video, and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I can go more in depth on the parts if you would like to see the parts. The valise itself, on a side note, was also used as its own bag by cavalry, by messengers, by medics, and everything. It's basically just an open bag. And it had some little side pouches on it and some little stuff sewn on the inside, but it was, for the most part, just an open bag. So you could see Canadians issuing them with just shoulder straps for different uses as well, which really reduced logistics, which is very good for the very, at the time, small military of Canada. So hopefully you all like this video, and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I've been waiting months, literally 6 months, for that valise to get done. So hopefully you all appreciate this stuff, and it wasn't cheap to put together either. But thank you so much for watching, you guys. It means a whole lot to me, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.